One, thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to talk about a couple of moments during Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King's live recap of Married to Medicine from last night, where she shaded Martell and she did talk openly about people being displeased with her saying, oh, there's two sides to every story, when it came to his arrest a few weeks ago. And also, she also hinted that Carlos may be fake. It was after he gave this long soliloquy about how he guides his producers of reality TV and the advice that he gives them. Now, before we get into these sound bites, I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video, or even if you hit the dislike button, either one of those helps the video, because then YouTube will recommend this video to more people who enjoy talking about love and marriage, Huntsville, Black celebrity gossip, reality TV. And also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would love to have you. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism. Okay, so first we're going to get into this first sound bite about people criticizing Dr. Heavenly for her comments, her thoughts on Martell's arrest.
Love and marriage, I'm gonna watch it and see, because the people got on me for saying there's three sides to every story when Martell went to jail. There's three sides to every story. I don't know what happened. That's all I said. Oh, heavily on Martell's side. Listen, I did a video and I put a excerpt from Meg Thee Stallion. They said, you supposed to be a bar. I don't know what the fuck, like, I don't know nothing about all of that. I just ain't like the song. The people went in on me about the song, and I ain't on nobody's team. I love all the ladies and I want them all to win. That's all. They cursed me out about that.
I know, but that's the reason why you always got to stand on business and stand your truth.
But I don't even know nothing about that, right?
No, I know, but I appreciate the fact that that comment really goes to show that, look, you and I are having fun doing this. I'm not going to go back into what I said last week, because I said it and I meant what I said. But I just want people to know you and I are having fun doing this.
Oh, yeah, I love it. That banter back and forth. This is what I do for a living.
Yeah, and it's not, I hate the fact that some people take it seriously, because it's definitely just, it's us having fun. And the fact that someone said,
okay, so what he was getting ready to say was the fact that someone said our recaps is causing them to watch Married to Medicine, even going back to season 1. You're welcome, because right before Dr. Heavenly went into that Martell part, she read someone's super chat where they said, you two, your weekly recaps has caused me to watch Married to Medicine, going all the way back to season 1. But let's get back to what Heavenly was saying about Martell. So one thing that I noticed is that on these weekly recaps, ever since Martell's arrest, whenever Dr. Heavenly tries to bring him up, Carlos, he initially looks a little uncomfortable. I can tell he's trying to think of a pivot really quickly. And his pivot is typically to keep it really lighthearted, to circle it back to Married to Medicine. And he tries to like laugh it off when it comes to Martell. So Dr. Heavenly was very open and direct and said that the people criticized her for saying that there were three sides to every story when Martell got arrested, and he just laughed it off. I think that Dr. Heavenly is low-key a little annoyed with Martell. I'm sorry, a little bit annoyed with Carlos, because he's interviewed Quad and he's interviewed Mariah. And both of those women have pretty much stated their opinions that the cast of Married to Medicine, they're not 100%, And Mariah has shed light that they will do anything that the producers want to create dissension amongst the cast. Allegedly, and in my opinion, if I had to summarize Mariah's comments on the show from that interview in one sentence, that's what it would be. So I think that Dr. Heavenly is like low key mad at Carlos. And I think the way that she shows it is she keeps bringing up Martell and his arrest. But when you watch them live and she brings up Martell, Carlos is initially, he looks uncomfortable. I feel like his mind is moving. He's trying to think of a pivot. He tries to laugh it off and he'll circle back to Married to Medicine. But Dr. Heavenly, it was just the blatant ignoring of the fact that he would get arrested for such a serious charge, even if you didn't Google it and put it together that it was for revenge P, just the fact that it would be DV, girl, and you're going to say there's 3 sides to every story. I cannot believe you, Dr. Heavenly, and you are the daughter of a young lady. You would be you would hijack a plane to Florida to FAMU if you heard about anybody putting their hands on your daughter. So don't even try it, okay? And then that charge allegedly was revenge P because it was the DV combined with the harassing communications. So this next soundbite that I want to play, it is about Dr. Heavenly. She makes a joke about Martell.
Thankful he was, I think he was being honest though. When it came to Phaedra and Twad.
Did Dr. G bring up his...
Now you're trying to get me in trouble. No. Did Martell really have a sex tape on? Was she bent over? Was she... what position was she in? The shower curtain and then what was it? Was she bent over a car?
Going back to the reunion that we're not going to say much about, so I want to get you in trouble because you know I love you. I want to stick to just this, right?
Yeah.
Based on what you saw.
Okay, so you heard it. So Dr. Heavenly, she was getting annoyed with Carlos because he kept trying to get her to talk about the reunion. And we all know how reality TV stars, they have to be mum's the word about any future episodes that we have not seen yet. You don't want to get in trouble by revealing anything ahead of time. If you don't believe me, just ask Kiki, allegedly, and in my opinion. All right, so Dr. Heavenly, she already said in the beginning of the live, you know, I really can't say anything about the reunion. We literally just filmed it. And Carlos was really trying to get her to spill some tea about it, knowing that that is a no-no. You know, even at his podcast tour, he didn't want anyone spilling any beans about, you know, the guests that were brought onto the stage. And I totally understand that. Ebony respects boundaries. Okay, so I don't know why he was trying to trick Heavenly into spilling tea about future episodes, the reunion episodes. So what did Dr. Heavenly do? She got that monkey off her back. She brought up Martell and said, is it true he had a SEX tape on Melody? What position was she in? This, that. And all he tried to do was laugh very loudly, you know, so that you could not hear Dr. Heavenly. He was trying to like overpower her. But I definitely wanted to point that out. But she knows what time it is. She's obviously following the blogs who report on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And she knows what time it is regarding the issues with Martell and the Revenge P. All right, so I want to also say, Dr. Heavenly, she's quite the professional because, again, I think she's really annoyed with Carlos, but she does not want to end these weekly recaps short. I think that she's going to woman up, put on her big girl panties, and just ride this out. She has to keep working with Carlos for, I'm guessing, about another month and a half. And then the season will be over. And then she's probably going to flip the bird every time she sees his picture. But I'm just kidding because, you know, of course, Carlos says that they're friends and that they talk all the time. But I think although she gets annoyed with him, she's going to definitely ride this out and finish out this weekly recap with him through the end of the season. Okay, so now this next soundbite I really want to get into because Carlos talks about advice that he gives his producers of reality TV. And I found it to be quite interesting. So I'm going to keep the intro general, and now we're going to get into the soundbite.
My whole thing is that we got more to come. It's gonna get messier and dirtier as we go, because that's what y'all like. And I got a question for you, because I think we have a great production company. But coming from you, is it really difficult to put a show together, or is it, you know what I'm saying, with all these different personalities and all this stuff, and I just see them having issues with the staff and the cameraman and all that. It gotta be pretty difficult, though, right?
Well, no. So listen, it's an ensemble show is the most difficult reality show to produce, because you have to deal with the personalities individually and collectively, right? Now, with that being said, that's why it's very important to make sure that you have a relationship with your crew, because it's a pressure cooker. There are going to be good days and bad days. But the one thing I tell my producers, whenever your talent gets, because it happens, right? Where talent gets emotional and great, whatever. I always say to them, you let them vent, because you have no idea what it's like to be on TV. And you have no idea what it's like to give your life to the show. And they may have a bad moment. I'm not making no excuses for them.
Right.
But I always say to my producers, when it comes to your talent, give us some grace. Give us some grace. And don't pick sides. Because the moment they feel like again, and I'm telling the truth, the reason why is running joke heavily that Charles loves all the girls is because on my shows, when I was on Housewives of Atlanta, I made all those girls feel like they were number one to me. That's why everybody said, Carl, everybody. And I do love everybody, but I never make anyone feel less than.
Well, you always make me feel like I'm number one. You really do. You really do. Yeah, you do. And I know I'm not number one, because every time you do an interview, you tell them that you're number one. But I never give numbers, so don't do that. I never I really do. I thank you, Carlos. I was so happy that I was your favorite. Then you tell the same shit to everybody. So
I never tell anyone they're my favorite, so stop it.
Everybody your favorite. Listen.
Call it out, Dr. Heavenly. Call it out. That is hilarious. So you all heard at the end of the soundbite, Dr. Heavenly called out the fact that whenever Carlos King interviews someone, particularly a reality TV star, we are friends. We are friends. And I love you. And I love you. And she just says, you had me feeling like I was your number one, but you say that ish to everybody. And he said, I never say numbers. Well, Carlos, she's paraphrasing. She's just using a different term that means the same thing. You may say, we're friends and I love you. Dr. Heavenly said, you tell everyone that, they're your number one. You said it to me. I thought you meant it, until every time you do an interview, you say that to someone else. So I always find it to be so interesting. I have classmates, and then I have friends who, that's how we met. We were classmates in high school and college. I have friends from the old neighborhood that I grew up in, people that I've known that I remember playing with, hopscotch, freeze tag, since I was a little girl, like my friends. And then there are people that you're cool with. Let's be real. Sometimes you have acquaintances that you kick it with at the club. They're your hanging out buddies. But, Carlos King totally tries to put this stamp on everyone that they're all his girls. They're all, and he loves to say which reality TV stars are just such close friends, off camera. He's always has to have that inside scoop, that leg up on everyone in terms of tea and information. So Dr. Heavenly, I think she is just calling it out. I do have to say she is professional and self-controlled, because I'm sure if she wanted to go off on him and cut these weekly recaps short, just do them without him, she would. But she is still going. I do think that off camera, off these lives, they are having a little bit of words, because during this live, he let her know that Dr. Simone and Toya's husbands, which is Cecil and Dr. Eugene, they contacted him about doing these lives recaps with them. They wanted to come on at least one episode. And Dr. Heavenly's reaction was, why didn't you tell me that when we weren't live? And why didn't they ask me? Why did they just come to you? You know, so she was quite annoyed. And, you know, I have to say, I'm sure it was strategic that he would ask her during a live broadcast, putting her on Front Street, I guess to see if she would say yes. Then he could hold her to it because they have like a few thousand people seeing it live. You know what I'm saying? But he actually says that he tells his producers to give the cast grace and to not pick sides. And I thought that was just so amazing because it totally seems like he picks sides and he favors, you know, Tisha and Marcel Scott and Maurice and Kimmy. And he totally, when Destiny was on the show, he totally covered for her, not being a very open reality TV star. So, and definitely, you know, pick sides or favors Martell. In my opinion, I feel like favoring and picking sides, they're pretty synonymous. So I just found that to be so amazing that he would say that he tells his producers that. And then he talked about how reality TV in the form of an ensemble cast is the hardest to produce because of all of the many personalities. And just a friendly reminder, when Tasha K interviewed Martell, he told the story about how initially he and Melody wanted to do an HGTV type of reality TV show. And Carlos said, well, give me a year. Then he came back, he counter-offered and said, but I can do it sooner than a year if it's an ensemble cast. Do you have any friends, other couples that could film a reality TV show? And we don't just show your home building business, but we talk about the relationship dynamics amongst all of you. So that ensemble cast term, it's coming back up in this conversation between Dr. Heavenly and Carlos. And so he is saying that the ensemble cast is the toughest because of all of the personalities. But I'm sure that he likes that because toughest could probably translate into the messiest and the most drama. So I found that to be so interesting. It was definitely an admission, but I could not believe that the quote unquote advice that he says that he gives his producers. But I would love for you all to express yourself in the comments. What did you think about this conversation between Dr. Heavenly and Carlos King? What do you think about Dr. Heavenly bringing up Martell? I think she is just observant as we are and notices how uncomfortable Carlos gets when she brings up Martell on a live broadcast. Definitely, please hit the like button on this video. It is a free way to support the channel, and I would appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate the support. And please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I hope that you all had a wonderful Wednesday. We have made it over the hump. Most of the workday is over. If you do work weekends, it's not the end of the world because having weekday off days is very nice too. All right, so I will talk with y'all soon. Take good care. Bye.